Lynn Cullen live in 1 minute. Welcome to Lynn Cullen Live at pghcitypaper.com. Email your questions and comments to Lynn at pghcitypaper.com.
Hello, 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 and welcome to blah, 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 Lynn Cullen Live, April 4th. Chris Potter
is here.
I was sort of avoiding full sentences.
Okay. In the best broadcast.
Yes, I was
broadcast journalism.
Doing a fragment.
An accident on I-79 tonight. Period.
That's
it. Neighbors upset. Period.
School bus hit.
No, actually, I think that does count as a sentence.
Oh, yeah. Dead children.
Oh.
Oh, my God.
Shock in Harrisburg tonight.
Oh, man. Yeah.
The distraught Ori sisters.
Oh, man.
Tonight at 11.
So I've heard that the justice is going to be indicted before the month's out.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, all three are going to, really, they're going to have a special little Ori cell.
Special little
all
Ori cell.
Three of them.
I was hoping it would happen during Lent, you know.
Why's that?
I don't know, because, you know, it's all about their faith, supposedly, you know. That's what her lawyer was like. Jane Ori's lawyer was like, you know, her faith is very strong at this point. I just thought she probably could identify, you know.
Oh, with Jesus.
With Jesus and all. You know, there was a trial there, too. Sort of.
You know, I wonder what, well, we shouldn't, why, this Schadenfreude, is that Freud?
Yes,
is that
Schadenfreude, actually.
Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude.
What is the psychological basis of that, do you think, that we take delight in others' misery? What does that?
Well,
what does that say about us?
I mean, my thing about, I just think Jane Ori has been a disaster for the city of Pittsburgh. You know, she's pursued as a legislator from the suburbs. She's pursued things that have been bad for the city.
But she's been good for her constituents.
Yeah, but I don't care. I mean, that's this is the this is the community that is of concern to me. So I don't really care how happy they are in McCandless. And if she were content just sort of legislating for McCandless, then that would be one thing. But you know, so a lot of things that, you know, in terms of financial oversight for the city and things like that, she's really pushed that agenda. So, you know, that's what it is for me.
I just wonder if the good voters of McCandless, who the hell they're going to subject us to next.
No, as I think you said last week, Melissa Hart would be the odds-on favorite, I would say.
Has she been heard from on this? No.
Was that a horse reference? Herd?
Horses are not in herd.
Aren't they? Horses are herds. Horses are herd animals.
Horses do not. No. A group of horses. Is a group of horses a herd? No, and it was not.
Just it was a really stretched premise to start.
It certainly was.
My inner John McIntyre suddenly reached out from deep inside my medulla oblongata.
I think she looks more like, you know, that Picasso statue in Chicago?
They're a team.
They're a team.
Well, that's nice.
But even more than
when they're not harnessed to something?
Wandering around
But also Harris.
A Harris.
A Harris?
A Harris of horses.
If they belong to a single owner, a stud.
A stud of horses.
I thought a stud was what you.
You can have a stud as one of the members of the stud could be a stud. But so it's not. No.
Well, I don't care.
Cows.
It's just a joke.
Cows. It was a bad joke to start with.
That's it. I'm out of here.
No, you got to stay. Stay.
I'm sulking in my trailer for the rest of the show. You can find me in the green room.
Okay, well, so I don't want to talk about Rick Santorum. Did you watch his speech last night?
No, I didn't.
I watched both his and Romney's. Romney's was, totally written, and it was clearly a little hint of what the tone of the campaign's going to be, as was Obama's speech yesterday.
Yes.
It's going to be, oh boy, it's going to be rougher than, it's going to be pretty amazing.
I'm okay with that. I mean, I didn't see Romney's, but I assume it was all full of piss and vinegar in general election
Well, no,
season.
and he really went after Obama,
Yeah.
suggesting that he literally did not know what he was doing, that he was out of touch. I thought, geez, coming from you, Romney. But it was actually well written.
Yeah.
I'll
have to check it out. I saw Obama. I mean, I read Obama's speech.
Which is pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. About time.
Came out swinging.
Yeah. So what did Santorum say? Anything worth?
No, but he just, first of all, he does not acknowledge. I mean, he did not acknowledge that he'd lost 3 races. That It's like he was just supposed to come out and give a speech for some reason.
Right. I guess you're wondering why I've gathered you all here together today.
There was no mention of anything untoward happening to his campaign.
Right.
Nor was there any mention, of course, because that was not acknowledged, nor was there any congratulations given to Romney, which used to be.
Yeah,
I mean, you do not have to be an old hag like me to
but it helps.
Say,
sorry.
That's just another cheap
I know. It is.
shot.
It is. Go
What is
ahead.
this, a war on women you're making today?
No, Ruth Ann Daly tells me that anybody who thinks there's a war on women is waging a war on common sense. That's and the Constitution.
Well, now that you're quoting Ruth Ann to defend yourself,
no, I'm just
I think you're really on thin ice.
Okay, go ahead. So anyway.
I forgot what I was saying.
Civility between...
Oh, yes. So, it used to be de rigueur.
Yes.
What is that?
Oui, oui.
What does that mean?
Mais oui.
What does that translate to?
As opposed to de jour, which is in the law, it's like it's required by sort of social convention.
Okay, I just say it is expected.
Yeah.
That in a speech on an election night, when you have failed to win, that you acknowledge your opponent's victory.
Yeah.
They don't
Not anymore.
do it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just another example of how, this just sort of civility is gone. So he's conflating himself and this where he is. And actually, he might not be incorrect. I can see where he is. With Reagan in 76, Reagan made a run for the Republican nomination in 76 when Gerald Ford was the incumbent.
Yes.
And, of course, he was not successful, and everybody was telling him to get out, you're hurting our nominee, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And he came back in 80 to do it again, and he talked about how Reagan didn't win the first. He really got trounced in the first primaries and blah, 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 blah. And so he's saying the Republican Party made a mistake because you had the establishment wanting, milk toasty Ford when they could have had the firebrand and the one the base would be excited by, Reagan. And so he's conflating himself with that. And I can see where that sort of works for him. But it also suggests that what he's doing now, he knows it's over.
Yeah.
He's looking at 4 years from now.
Sure.
So he'll stay in as long as he has to without truly harming himself with the party, totally, and to come back in 4 years.
Yeah, although figuring out where that line is not so easy. That line of where you become sort of an unwelcome.
Right.
And you get remembered as the guy
who spoiled things. But, technically, he is within his rights. I mean, there is there's no lock yet, and you certainly can't get on him for still being in it since his home state's coming up, which I do think I think he's really playing with fire.
Yes.
Because the possibility of him losing Pennsylvania in 3 weeks is very, very real.
Yeah.
Especially, and get ready, everybody, we are about to be the recipients of a constant onslaught of negative advertising on the part of...
But we might get to hear this ad again.
Which one?
I changed my parties to help me get reelected, because I think we're going to hear a lot of Arlen Specter again.
Oh yeah.
Because I think that's the issue that I've always I'm never entirely sure how that's played outside of Pennsylvania's borders, but I think a lot of people inside.
Oh, inside? No, I don't
it's
think
always
anybody
been
outside cares.
It's been an issue. Yeah, the most recent polling I saw still shows Santorum up. But
he's losing ground.
He's losing it because if you looked at some of the exit polling last night,
they want someone who's...
Tea Party people are even starting to get behind Romney. They're shifting, and it's not because Romney has said great stuff. It's just they kind of said, look, this is where it's headed, so we may as well just start to kind of get behind the guy.
Also, in the Wisconsin, whatever, when they talked to people last night, the vast majority of people who voted for Santorum, and by the way, he did pretty damn well in Wisconsin. That was not a runaway there at all.
Right.
But even the majority of people who voted for him in Wisconsin said they didn't think he was going to win it.
Yeah. And there was also some broader participation. I think you would know better than I suspect, but is it not fairly easy for Democrats and independents
totally
to jump in? And I gathered that most of them went for
They say that, they say that there weren't a lot of Democrats who bothered to vote. But they do. They come in. And I know I informed my mother, who was not intending to vote, get to the polls and vote for Santorum.
Just to make life.
Yeah, I said just to make it more interesting. I don't know if she did. But in fact, it didn't change a thing. I don't know. So I hate the idea. You will not be able to watch television.
That's a bad thing, is it?
No, it's probably a good thing. Yeah. No, it is.
We should start a book club for the next 3 weeks.
I wonder if...
And that's what we could do instead of watch TV. We could have a discussion of, I don't know, some highfalutin book. You know any?
Have you ever belonged to a book club?
No,
I haven't either.
My wife has, but...
When I read a book, I don't know that I want to talk to other people about it. Do you?
I don't know. Lately, my reading material has not been such that it would sustain a protracted intellectual discussion. Most recently, we've been reading Tubby, which is about a kid who likes to go into the tub. He likes tubby time.
Don't some of those
It's good.
books... No, I got to tell you. I remember sometimes, this is where I was not a good parent. I did it, I faked it, but there were times when some of those books would start to make me go insane. And I would... it was always the one that you hated the most that the kid wanted to repeat 500 times.
Right. Well, I would say two things. That one is, I actually, believe it or not, I can be a fairly sentimental guy, and the book Tubby sort of makes me tear up a little bit because it's so cute. It's these little pastel drawings; they're very cute. But conversely, we have one, and it's not bad. It's G is for Goat, which a friend and former City Paper intern gave to me largely because she wanted to haunt the rest of my days. And Cormac loves G is for Goat. I could actually recite for you G is for Goat. I'm not going to do it, but I could from memory.
I want to know what I is for.
Let me think about that. I is for itch. I laugh when they scratch.
X has to be zebra.
X is I'm excited.
Oh,
she kind of hedges. The last couple, she kind of Z is amazing. She kind of has.
Oh, so it's not zebra, which you expected to.
No, it's all about goats,
or
and then in the last 5 letters of the alphabet, this subplot develops about how the goat is pregnant. Oops, I gave away the ending. I'm sorry. If anybody out there was going to read, I should. Can we put a spoiler alert on before we put this up online?
Did some Planned Parenthood person come and try to get them to abort?
Yeah, that's right. V is for values, which sustain us all. W is for Wiccans, who will lead to our downfall. I don't know. How was that?
Yeah, that wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. Okay, I have a headline here that was like buried in the paper, and to me, it begs a lot of questions. I find it fascinating, given what has happened in the upper reaches of Highmark in the last few days.
Oh dear, yeah.
Yeah. Here it is. Westinghouse CEO resigns
Yeah, I saw that.
after 2 days.
Yeah.
What the hell could that be about? A guy is appointed to the top spot, must have accepted it, or,
presumably.
2 days later, he resigns.
Yeah.
They ain't saying anything. The board of directors announced it. What do you think that's about?
I don't know. I thought the office would be nicer.
No. No. Well,
Where are the pens? Ballpoint?
he notified the board of his resignation sometime over the weekend. My guess is this is one of those things where he didn't resign.
Yeah, they
He
found
was
out
told to
something.
resign.
Maybe it was an April Fool's joke.
That they gave him the, that's right.
No, I was just kidding. I'm really excited about the job. Let's go build some nukes.
No, the April Fool's joke was they offered him the
Oh, yeah,
job.
I see. All right.
We're just kidding. We need your resignation right now.
Oh, but we've got some lovely party gifts.
Well, what the hell do you think?
I don't know.
Maybe they found, maybe there was some, I don't know. So there you have it. So Melani is going to go into counseling. What kind of counseling would that be? What
I don't know.
anger management, I suppose.
Maybe.
Not how not to destroy your life.
Pretty amazing to see. I think it was Rich Lord who had that story today. Just about how they're probably likely to give the guy a big old severance package to make the threat of a lawsuit go away.
Right. But I don't understand how he has a lawsuit.
Well, I mean, I guess the argument is if the company itself did something, punished him, if they fired him because he wouldn't do what they said he should do. The argument is the board apparently, allegedly, tried to push Ms.
Her
Myler,
out.
the mistress, out.
And he said, no, you can't
And he
do
said,
it.
you
It's
can't do
illegal."
that. It's against the law. And then they fired him. He could argue that the reason
that's
he was
not why they
terminated.
fired him.
I know, but he could argue that. And then, of course, what you really worry about in these situations is going through a discovery process. And pretty soon there's all kinds of internal memoranda and whatnot floating around. And it's in the public record. And everybody gets to sort through the high-marked dirty laundry.
Okay, so he can shake him down.
He can shake him down if he wants to. Yeah, sure.
Well, why wouldn't he want to?
Yeah, I don't know. You don't get to be the head of a major insurer without knowing how to squeeze a lemon or two.
That's right. So that's what it'll be. And she's back at work.
Good for her.
She went back yesterday. Can you imagine?
Yeah, it's gonna be a little awkward around the old water cooler, I would suspect.
Jeez.
You gotta respect that, though, don't you? A little bit.
She's doing it for money because her attorney told her, "Hey, if we want to sue these guys, you got to go back."
Yeah. Still, it's pretty awesome.
Well, I don't know.
What do you give her to do at this point? Sign some more contracts that now there's like people in the paper saying that all your other contracts stink.
Yeah. What are you gonna?
Let's see.
But
there's an office record on Minesweeper you might try to topple. Let's set you up here with the computer. And we're just going to disconnect you from the network, if that's all right.
Unbelievable. So everybody's tiptoeing around her, too, though, right?
Yeah.
They don't want to appear as if they're in any way unhappy that she's in their employ for some reason. Right.
Yeah,
Another reason they'll settle with Melani and settle this as quickly as they can is it's embarrassing. They don't want this prolonged, and they've got like a lot of stuff on their plate. How many lawyers do you think are currently employed in civil and criminal cases involving Highmark?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
We should thank them here for stimulating the local economy.
That's right. It's true. It's all good for the gross national product.
Trickle down. All those lawyers, they buy stuff.
That's right. And then they hire paralegals and clerks.
That's true.
So there we go.
And pay them crap, but still.
But that's not Ken's fault. He's just doing right for them. I like the thing about how they had to cancel the gala event that was in his honor.
Oh, I know. Who was that? The Diabetes Association, I think. They were going to honor him.
Yeah.
They said, that would be a little uncomfortable. We'll just honor Highmark in general.
Yeah. And then they specifically picked an employee to honor.
Well,
which is nice for her. She seems like a very deserving person.
She probably is more deserving than he.
Yeah,
probably. She probably's the one who. It's some woman behind him who did all the work involving.
Right.
My bet.
But now she's in this weird position of getting this because their first choice crashed and burned.
So this hasn't happened yet?
No, I don't think so.
I'm sure in her remarks she will assiduously avoid any discussion of why she's up there.
I'd like to thank the people who made this award possible. Starting with Melissa Myler. Thank you.
Thanks, Missy.
Behind every great woman is a great woman.
Okay. So, I know it's early, but Santorum win or lose?
In Pennsylvania?
Yes.
You know what I think? I think we're going to, City Paper doesn't do endorsements, but I think we're going to endorse them because amongst Republican primary voters, that has to be the kiss of death. Right? For City Paper to be like, here's our candidate, Rick Santorum, the man with the plan. People just be like, oh my God, what?
Might not be a bad strategy, actually.
He employed a gay guy once. Whoop, whoop. We could do the thing about his wife and her former relationship and all that stuff. We really believe that Rick Santorum is the man with the tolerance, and blah, blah, blah. And that'll be enough.
Hey, did you see this? Totally off subject. That some with all the new gizmos at their, they've recalculated. It's called a demographic historian.
Okay.
Recalculated how many Americans died in the Civil War.
Was it more or less than?
More.
Really? It was already the most.
Yeah,
bloody war
it's
in
even
American
moster.
history.
For 110 years, it says this was the gospel, that it was, yes, the greatest loss of life in America at 618,222. Okay. No, it's up to 700, about 750,000 now. It's 3/4 of a
So what
million.
What accounts for the discrepancy there? Was it they didn't
I don't know.
count the graves right
You think I don't know. You think I went beyond the first paragraph?
You're what's wrong with the American public,
It says
Lynn.
continued on page 3, and I don't have page 3.
You tore it out.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem.
No, I don't.
You really should get them.
Here it is. Census details not published at the time suggest that 750,000 people died, more than 20% above previous estimates. And while more Yankees died than Confederates, the fact is that the population of the Confederacy was much less, and so in fact proportionally the Confederation took a bigger hit.
So that also is a result of the census numbers?
No, I think that was the case anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh. Yeah, you really should get them to deliver you the full paper, not just these little. You miss a lot on those jumps.
Sometimes here's another one I didn't do the jump.
Okay.
This says continued on page B10. I do not have B10.
See?
I lose interest. You know what? Here's the thing. You start reading. You got the front page. You start reading, and it says, continued on. But you think, well, I'm not going to go all the way back to there because I still want to read some of this here.
Right.
So you just sort of squirrel it away and keep going. And then when you finally do turn the page,
you've forgotten what it's about.
No, it's just you've got 3 or 4 things that are hanging there, and so they can. Yeah, it's one of the problems with you newspaper people.
Well, we don't really have a lot of jumps. I mean, they're just the next page. So
yeah. Well, this has to do with the Masters coming up, the golf.
Okay.
Not that I take you as much of a golfer or golf aficionado.
I don't know. I like to think I have a golfer physique. Especially that fat guy who drank a lot. What was John Daly or whatever? I feel like I could go. At least I could walk 18 holes with him.
He's not drinking anymore. I think he's not, and I think he's lost weight too.
Is he? Oh shit! Well then.
Usually they go together.
Huh.
I don't know.
I guess it's botchy for me then. Anyway, all right. So.
The lawn bowling court. There's at Frick.
Yes, I know it well.
Yes,
I know it well.
You would think that that's not a strenuous sport, so you would think that the very proper people playing that game Well, when my dog was alive, I used to walk over there often, and they were very svelte, those lawn bowlers.
Right.
And they seemed to be having a very good time.
Yes. Did they try to recruit you?
Yes, they did.
We used to live right by there, like within a 2-minute walk.
Yes, they did. They
there,
said, "Why don't you come?"
Anytime you got within earshot, we'd sort of have to like.
Yeah.
No offense to any lawn bowlers in the audience, but after you've declined a couple times, you just kind of don't want to have the conversation anymore. But they were so desperate for.
Well, I think you pay. They have a building there. They've got to keep things up.
Oh, okay. I see. So it was about our money.
Yeah, they wanted your money.
Well, son of a bitch! I thought they just
wanted. No, they didn't look at you and say, "Now there's the making of a great lawn bowler."
This is the problem. You take a perfectly pure sport like lawn bowling, and now it's all about endorsements and money.
Ain't it?
Big
and
contracts. It's despicable.
Which do you think requires more skill, croquet or lawn bowling? Did you ever have a croquet set?
Sure.
Sure you did. We all did. Why?
I don't know. Because it was a gentle thing for your kids to do and beat each other up with mallets when it was over. So in that sense, I guess, croquet was more strenuous. But lawn bowling probably required more skill.
I don't know. Are there professional croquet players? All right, I'll stop.
Thank you.
This line of questioning. I have a quote here from the one of the Augusta National Golf Club founders.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, is this the golf club that had all the race stuff?
Yeah. This is where the Masters is played.
All righty. Oh, good.
Clifford Roberts.
Yeah, I think they all have to be named Clifford.
As long as I'm alive.
Oh, good. This is going to be good.
He was, by the way, the chairman of the Masters for 45 years.
Right.
As long as I'm alive, all the golfers will be white and all the caddies will be black. You could not be white and be a caddy. All caddies had to be black. All golfers had, and there's a nice picture here of a young, very hunky-looking Arnold Palmer.
Yeah. When did this guy
Ben
make
Hogan.
this utterance?
Well, who the hell knows? He founded it in 1933, and he was chairman for 45 years. I'm sure he probably did it when there's some question.
He just said this now?
Well, no, I don't know if he said it. No, he's dead.
Okay, that's good.
He's dead now. He died in 97, so he said it sometime before then, but there was already pushing going on.
Right.
20 years after his death, so that would be 2007.
Right.
A black golfer with a white caddy won the Masters at Augusta. That would be, I don't, even though Tiger doesn't classify
himself. He's Cabellasian or something.
Cabellasian. But believe me, this jerk Clifford would have said he's black. He looks black to me.
He still rolled over.
And he had a white caddy, right. So the reason this comes up again, apparently, and this isn't here, but I found this somewhere, is that the CEO of, I think, IBM, for some reason, has always been a member of Augusta. It is just, that's who the members are, the CEOs and this and that. Well, guess what? The CEO of IBM now is a woman. Augusta does not allow women as members. This goes in keeping, with the whole thing.
Sure.
Only caddies can be black, golfers have to be white, and no women can. So the CEO of IBM is a woman. What they gonna do? And this is 2012. They still don't have a woman, I believe. What a vile! I don't understand why I assume it's the PGA.
Yeah.
Why they
continue to enable this by having their event
what
there?
is that about?
Well, why do people watch?
And who's that? Who was the golfer? Maybe cute character, Mexican, Trevino? No, was that Lee Trevino? All right, you
Mexican?
don't know.
I don't know.
No, I don't know who I'm saying, but there was a cute,
sounds like one of those Italian
sort of
names.
brown-skinned person who hailed from Mexico, who when he played at Augusta, said he changed his shoes and things in the parking lot because he could not bear the
unbearable whiteness of being.
The just the environment.
Wow.
And it wasn't that they wouldn't let him in to do it, apparently, at that point. But he simply didn't want it. It's how I felt about the Duquesne Club. I wouldn't darken your back door or your front door.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. They let in women now, though.
Fuck them.
But think what you're missing.
They wouldn't let it.
The lively after-dinner conversation.
Oh, God. Fuck them.
The paintings of David Blythe. Huh?
Are there on the wall?
There are plenty of paintings by David Blythe in there. I've been to the Duquesne Club.
F them. I was there
once. Walked out of there with a item or two of stemware under my jacket.
Good. See, you did the same thing I did. I went there and did something terrible. No, I did not.
What,
no,
did you,
no,
did
I
you
can't.
deface a bathroom or something?
Sort of. But I can't. Yes.
Come on.
I scrawled a bomb threat.
Yeah, right. Oh, God.
No, I cannot.
Really?
Even though I cannot tell a lie, I cannot tell that story on the. I'm sorry, guys.
Wow.
But I am terrible.
I wondered whether there was a story that you would not tell on the air, and that's it. I guess.
Probably could. Someday I will.
All right.
Because I've told everything, and I guess this wouldn't even shock anybody, but I just can't yet. It was the only time I was there, and I told myself I don't ever want to go back there anyway. I hate the mustiness of the place, the whole sense of
the mustiness of the people,
the noblesse of the whole thing. Because those people, the people who founded that, they don't like my kind. They don't like Jews, and they sure as heck didn't like women were kept in the. My sense when I go in a place like that is, hey, I just want to break things.
Yeah, I can't see why they wouldn't want to let you in. It's really odd.
I live up to every. Those loudmouth Jews.
All
righty. Let's do it then. Come on. Bring it on. Be as obnoxious as I can be. And the funny thing is I was there for a Jewish event. It was some thing, listening to some guy speak about, I can't remember what. I was so freaked about being in this godforsaken place. My animus toward the WASP establishment is deep.
Hey, baby, I am the WASP establishment.
If you're the... Well, see, look what... Yeah, the master race. Look at this.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, now, wait a minute.
Yeah. You're the WASP establishment?
I mean, I'm white, I'm
You're Irish.
English-Irish. It's still...
You're Irish.
That's English.
You know what the English thought about the Irish?
Yeah,
You're dogs.
British Isles, baby. That's more Scots-Irish,
Okay. Do I have... I'm going to take a break.
Okay.
And when we come back, I have some things to throw at you.
Okay. Literally? Just because I'm a wasp, is that what it's coming?
Yes.
Okay.
Crockery flying when we return.
Email your questions and comments to Lynn at pghcitypaper.com or call Lynn at 412-316-3381. Lynn Cullen Live will return in a moment.
Pittsburgh City Paper is available now. Pick up one today for the distinctively Dutch Festival, Pittsburgh Zoo Hop, and Dingus Day. Pittsburgh City Paper available at over 1,700 locations throughout Western Pennsylvania and on the web at pghcitypaper.com.
Saving energy saves you money. Whether you switch to Energy Star light bulbs, install Energy Star windows, or add extra insulation. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
Now, it's back to Lynn Cullen Live at pghcitypaper.com.
Man, that was a shocking story, Lynn Cullen.
Okay, stop that. Did you think it was that shocking?
I know, I can't say I'm surprised.
No.
It'll all be in Lynn Cullen's upcoming memoir, As Obnoxious as I Want to Be.
I do have some really good stuff.
I know you do. I keep telling you. I don't know how many times I have to tell you. Oh, before I forget, any future screenings of your immigrant documentary that you can tell us about? Any news on that score?
Why are you saying that?
Because because we mentioned it last week, and I said I hope that you would let us know if there were more screenings. And
not at the moment.
Okay.
I'd be glad to give you a private one.
Oh baby! All right, this is how it's going.
Yeah, you heard it won an award, of course.
Yes, because you told me last week.
Did I tell you it won an international award?
Is that separate from the telly, or was the telly the international?
Telly is international.
Okay.
Right.
Well, it's still very impressive.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm still stunned, if you want to know the truth, but what do I know?
Mm.
Anyway, okay.
Okay.
3 little items. Only if you read the Wall Street Journal would you know them.
Okay.
Pennsylvania has grown to be the second largest grossing gambling market
I did see this
in the United States.
I did see this, although not there. In a separate thing, there was a story in the Atlantic magazine about this guy who basically cleaned out like 3 Atlantic City casinos for like $15 million. And part of the way he was able to do it was he's a very good card player, but they're so desperate in Atlantic City for business, for action, because it's all going to Pennsylvania now, that they are now offering like the high rollers better and better deals. Like they will literally change the rules of the table games to entice people to play. And so this guy was able to basically combine his high level. I mean, he's a good card player, but he's able to combine that with his ability to basically jawbone these guys down. It did backfire, and in fact, apparently, I mean, it was like he took one for like I think $5 million. It like wiped them out for the month. Just this like one night of this guy.
Pennsylvania's 11 casinos pulled in more than any other, I guess, lumping Pennsylvania as a market. Yeah. Pulled in more than any other than Las Vegas. Other than
Nevada. And there's an item in the story today. This kind of blew my mind. This thing about we're going to privatize the management.
Yes, well, why would you do that?
And the amazing thing, and I don't care, of all the things to privatize, I don't really care.
But why would you do that if it's such a...
Because it's more money up front, right? It's your typical seller.
It's always,
and there's this discussion, and this actually, and I'm going to sound like one of these kind of like, pearl clutching rural conservatives here, but there was all this talk about how can we get more young people and more people from affluent brackets to gamble. Like this, and this was a desirable goal because it would enhance revenue. And granted, I think it's terrible that so many of the people who gamble and so much of the money that comes from the poor, comes from the elderly, people who aren't really in the best of situations. I guess I'd prefer it to only be wagered by millionaires, but it just struck me as incredible that this is a regressive kind of voluntary. This is what we're doing, and these are your values conservatives. Yeah. These are your values conservatives who are like, how can we get these young people, the ones whose moral education we're so concerned about. How can we get them to gamble more?
Unbelievable.
It's astounding.
All right, I take you then next door to Ohio.
The Buckeye State.
That's right.
Home of the Wright brothers.
Okay, name me another.
Did I mention the Buckeye State?
Yeah. There's lots of famous Ohio.
Sure. Warren G. Harding.
Neil Armstrong.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. John Glenn, too, I believe, was from Ohio.
John Glenn. Maybe that's who I meant.
Yeah. Pasty white astronauts all look the same.
That's exactly
You put the helmet on, and how can you tell the difference?
Right. Round-faced, pasty astronauts.
That's right. In fact, I'm constantly being mistaken for Neil Armstrong. Hey, Neil. Good job on the moon. Way to take that step, dude. Thanks, man.
All right. Okay, Ohio.
Yeah.
A kid. Listen to this name.
All right.
Maverick.
Yeah.
Couch. That's a great name. You don't think that's a great name? Maverick Couch. He's 16.
Okay. So he's got 2 strikes against him.
Here's the problem.
Okay.
He's gay.
3 strikes. Yeah.
Do you think naming him Maverick made him gay?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry. No, but Lance, I am telling you, you name a kid Lance, they're gay. That's all there is to it.
My stepsister's husband's name is Lance. It's going to be a little awkward.
And don't give me Lance Armstrong. But I know, like, really. It just seems like an awful lot of gay men are named Lance. I don't know what that's about.
Certain Freudian subtext, I think, is just better to pass over here.
I brought this up. Okay. I brought this up with Tom, and he didn't.
Disagree?
No, he
did disagree.
Yes, I believe
so.
Okay. 16-year-old Maverick Couch, gay student, has filed a lawsuit, federal lawsuit, against his school district.
Yeah.
He wore a T-shirt
Okay.
to school with the following words on it. Jesus is not
All right.
a homophobe.
Yep. Right.
He was suspended.
On the basis of?
This is where this shows how effed up. On the basis of, excuse me, the school officials say, the sexual nature. Because it
had the word homo
in it. Homo.
Right. Good thing he didn't have a T-shirt that had homophones on it.
Yes.
Or homonyms.
The sexual
There.
nature.
No!
Okay, so what was that? I thought maybe it would be because it's a political statement. I thought that was where they were going. No, they see Jesus is not a homophobe as inappropriate because it was sexual in nature. There is nothing sexual about that statement.
Yeah.
They're losing this case. I'll tell you that right now.
These days, you can't tell. A few years ago, they definitely would have lost it. Because actually, I mean, there's a landmark piece of litigation out of the 1960s about kids' abilities to wear, to display anti-Vietnam War messages, which this would be in the same thing. But nowadays, who knows?
Margaret said, is the name Margaret gay? No, I never thought of it as
Certainly
Margaret.
not. I dated a Margaret, so.
Well, Margaret is gay, though. So there goes your, so who knows?
No, it's the name, though.
It's not the name.
She's asking at the name. It's not the name.
No, it's not the name. But Lance, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not the name. It's.
Names. I read this thing where they said you name a kid a certain name, and it does have an impact on their lives sometimes, not always.
Yes.
And
I have a good story about that.
You do? Go ahead.
It's a story my father told. My father, my wife, if she's listening right now, is like, oh no, not this again. My father knew there was a family in my father's community growing up whose last name was Pancake. No. And yes, and it gets worse. When Mrs. Pancake was pregnant,
with a full stack,
they realized with a full stack. Oh, that's good. That will be part of the story the next time I tell it. They realized, because they were not stupid, the Pancakes were, that their child was likely to be made fun of for having the last name Pancake, presumably because Mr. Pancake had that very same experience as a child himself.
Yes.
So they said, what we should do is give him an extra special dignified first name.
Oh, no.
To make up for the comical last name.
Uh-oh.
So the son to them was born and was christened General Allen Pancake. That was his real name. And as my father likes to tell the story, by the time he graduated from high school, General Allen Pancake had beaten the ever-loving shit out of just about everybody he went to school with, because when your name is General Allen Pancake,
you learned how to fight. So he didn't, he
killed himself a few years later. Yeah. It's a tragic story, and it could probably all have been averted. Or a chunk of it. Although you really have to wonder what other choices those parents may have made.
There was nothing they could have done.
Yeah,
there's nothing. Yeah. It didn't matter, General Allen Pancake. He could have been Lance Pancake. I mean, wait. How do you George Pancake?
Right.
What works with pancake? Nothing.
Syrup.
Yeah. See?
Blueberry preserves.
Wow. Oh, God.
Yeah, isn't that
beat
sad?
everybody up and then killed himself.
Yeah.
Oh, what an awful story.
Told you. But it demonstrates the importance.
Well, you started laughing when you told it like it was a funny story.
No, it's funny because it just reflects the utter bathos of human existence.
But see, that's not the same as what I was suggesting.
Oh, okay.
In that, it's the first. You can't do anything about Pancake. That's the name.
You could change your last name.
You could change the last name, but it's the first names that parents assault sometimes their innocent children with.
Right.
Just an outrage what they do. Yeah.
Even Maverick's a little tricky, honestly.
Maverick's a little tricky, although it's a sort of cool name.
Sure.
Yeah, I think.
I went to a school with a kid named Wilder Bancroft, which I always thought was
Wilder
Bancroft. Doesn't that sound like
name.
that's like the name of somebody who drives a lot of like open top sports cars.
But see, that's what happens
like
to
a
a guy
Great
named Wilder.
Gatsby.
You do end up sometimes. Your name sort of informs what you will do or be. Well, I know that you're not a fan of Maureen Dowd's, nor am I. I mean, she lost me many years ago with her sort of snarky little phone it in crap.
Yeah. But
boy, did she come.
I think I saw this column, yeah.
Did you?
It was about the
court.
Supreme Court. Yeah.
Well, don't you think it's
Let's share some with our readers.
I shall. This is Maureen Dowd back doing
In
what
black.
she can. Back in black. And I, by the way, was so enraged about the strip search decision that came out yesterday. You don't know about
No,
the
I
court?
do. I just thought the last time I was on the air, we weren't going to get upset about the Supreme Court decision. Remember that?
No, I don't. We weren't going to get upset about a particular?
No, you were just like all like, let's let it be what it'll be, and there's no point getting upset because I was all worked up about the American.
Okay, well, so now today we've traded places apparently.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Every day's a different.
So you're very upset about this ruling. And,
and I've just been and then I'm upset in advance for what I fear the ruling on healthcare will be. But here's the line. My God, she talks about the court. She said, "It is run by hacks dressed up in black robes."
Yeah.
Whoa. I mean, that's harsh.
Yeah.
Right? She goes after Scalia a lot.
Surely.
She said it was stunning to hear Scalia talking like, and it's true, talking like a Senate whip during oral arguments last week.
How do we get to the 60 votes?
Yeah. He mused on how hard it would be to get 60 votes to repeal parts of the act. Imagine this.
Right.
This is the court.
Right.
He's not supposed to be thinking about this legislature. That's not his bailiwick. It has nothing to do with anything. Scalia, he mused on how hard it would be to get 60 votes to repeal parts of the act, explaining why the court just might throw out the whole thing. He used terms like Cornhusker kickback, which is like a Tea Party inspired, which isn't even in the law.
Yeah,
which
was in and then it came out.
And it came right back out.
Right.
In 2000, the Republican majority put aside its professional disdain of judicial activism, she points out, making George W. Bush the president of the United States. Have you noticed, by the way, what a pariah he is? Have you heard his name mentioned?
No.
But
there's actually been some reporting that, like, when it gets brought up around Romney, he's like, he hasn't endorsed me. No.
No, I'm not talking. I actually heard him say. So have you talked to, when the HW endorsed him, he was asked, well, have you, I speak to him once in a while. I don't know.
Hey, man, I thought I could do something else. No, that's all right. Don't worry about it. I got it under control.
On Monday, the court astoundingly ruled, of course, 5 Republican appointees to 4 Democratic appointees to give police carte blanche on strip search. So much for the conservatives' ideals on liberty.
Yes. And
how do 5 supposedly conservative justices end up saying, oh, sure, the Fourth Amendment, no, that didn't have anything to do with stripping you of your clothes and looking up every orifice.
Right, because they don't... They want to give broad deference to individual police officers, but not to the United States Congress. You could trust the cop to strip search people in the right circumstances all the time, but you can't necessarily.
I know we have a call. I just want
to
to say one thing. I figured out what these conservatives are about. They don't mind government doing stuff to you.
Right.
They do mind government giving.
Yeah, doing stuff for you.
Yeah. That's right. They don't mind government doing it to you. They really get freaked when government does it for you. It's a difference of prepositions.
That's right.
Caller, hi.
What's up?
Yeah, I just have one comment. Until we get these radical asshole Republicans out of these different positions, our government's going to be doomed.
Yeah.
And Obama made a talk yesterday about the radical policies they have.
Yeah.
And that's all they have. And until we get them out of there, we're screwed. Because they're going to be in one branch of the government. We know that.
Yeah.
No,
I don't see no
right.
changes that great. He does get elected. Thank you.
I thank you.
Thanks for the call.
We do not disagree, do we?
No, not at all. It'll be interesting to see what happens in Pennsylvania. The one race we won't be covering it because it's a Republican primary. But this whole Murphy challenge against this Tea Party guy challenging Tim Murphy, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And there's a Democrat running.
Well, you know what? I wish the Tea
him.
Party guy. Well, anybody who can knock Murphy off, whether it's a radical Republican in the primary, thus paving the way perhaps for the Democrats to take that seat.
Right.
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 That's what we're wishing for.
Right. Plus, hey,
it ain't gonna happen.
Maybe we'll endorse Tim Murphy too.
Kiss a dad.
Come to me, baby. It's like the George W. Bush we're the George W. Bush of newspaper endorsements.
And she takes this whack at Clarence Thomas, still inexplicably mute 20 years after he lied his way onto the court, perjured his way onto
That was
the
a little
court.
strong, I thought.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Clarence Thomas didn't ask a single question during oral arguments for one of the biggest cases in the court's history.
Whoa.
Yep. How much we paying that guy? He
Worth
doesn't do
every penny.
anything. His clerks do everything.
Yeah.
But they can't ask questions during oral arguments, so that's, whatever. And her last line is, it isn't conservative to overturn a major law passed by Congress in the middle of an election year.
Right.
The majority's political motives are as naked as a strip search. It's an outrage. Dana. Did you say Dana or Dana?
Dana, generally.
Okay. I read the story below on Huffington Post. This is frightening. My question, though, is why do I have to read this on Huffington Post?
I don't know.
Healthcare benefits on the line as states struggle with Medicaid. In Pennsylvania, the struggle to keep up with the demand for health care among the state's poor means that nearly 90,000 children are going to lose access to Medicaid benefits.
Right.
Governor
Ironically, this story refers to coverage given in a newspaper. I just want to point that out. She's faulty, although it is a Philadelphia paper.
But you didn't read it locally.
I have seen some stuff.
But she didn't read it in
she might not have.
here. Okay, it says Corbett says he's cleaning house and striking people from the program whose paperwork. The paperwork is not in order.
Your papers are not in order.
But critics see the move as an underhanded effort to reduce state spending by dumping needy children.
Yeah, well.
Oh, well.
Choose a better womb next time, kiddo.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, your point, Dana? Huh? Jesus.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Pittsburgh
Somebody's
girl.
accused you.
Lynn is a long-time listener who has heard the fornicating dolphin story, your adventures at the Actors Studio. What did I tell about that?
I don't know.
Your early days as the first woman on television in Madison and Life on a Pig Farm. How can you tease us with a Duquesne Club story and leave us dangling?
How indeed, I ask you.
So unfair.
Yes.
But has led my mind to wander.
What you could possibly do. No, this is good. This is the problem is now you tease them. So now their imagination is going to be better than what the actual story is. In fact, these are already better. A mustache on the painting of Andrew Mellon? Did you give the homeless people outside some of the etched glasses?
Replace
some of the books with with copies of our bodies ourselves.
Those in 1984.
Man, who is this Beth? She sounds like she'd be fun to hang out with.
Oh, Beth
seems like
Beth's a smart cookie.
She seems like she'd be good to engage in a little bit of mischief with.
Okay, so do you think I should tell it?
Well, I do, but you're right. Now the problem is it's not as good as.
That's right. I better tell it then.
The great thing is Andrew Mellon had a mustache. That's the other thing I love about it. That would be totally subversive. To draw a mustache on a painting that already had a mustache on it. Oh, it's so meta.
All right.
This is my favorite email.
No, you're right. So it's not, now I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, that it wasn't more ambitious.
Yeah. Beth, I will disappoint you. Why was I being so scrupulous about this?
I don't know. Go ahead.
Because I'm worried that some of the people who I was with that night might be stunned.
Oh, I don't think they're going to be stunned. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, these people might.
Oh, really?
This wasn't my usual cohort.
Oh, I see. Okay. I was going to say, how many of your usual cohort are members of the Duquesne Club? I'd be interested.
All right, I'll tell it.
Yay.
It's short because you can tell I gave it. It's no big deal. I had always told myself that I was never going to go to the Duquesne Club. I hated their guts because when I was first here as a reporter, I remember once there was something where I was supposed to cover it, but they said you cannot go in the front door. And that's when I first said, fuck them. I ain't going in the back door. What is this? So I didn't go. I hated them from a woman's point of view. I also hated them from a Jew's point of view. But then it turns out I find myself at the Duquesne Club for a Jewish function. It was, and I can't really remember the group, but it was very, as you might expect, sort of high-toned Jews.
Not those shtetl
As
Jews
I said,
you hear
not
about.
my usual cohort.
Right.
These were Jews that might actually be invited now to join the Duquesne Club. And somehow I was there. It was to hear someone, it was a very small group, to hear someone speak, very knowledgeable fellow, something to do with Israel. I don't know what the hell. And I didn't tell you this about the evening, but I found myself sitting next to he had to be 91, 92-year-old man. This is the first time in my life that I ever encountered a 90, 91, 92-year-old man who was hot. He was hot.
That's, Lynn, I'm going to stop you right here.
Yeah?
They put something in the air in the Duquesne Club to make 90-year-olds look more attractive. That's the whole reason they joined the club in the first place.
To younger women.
Exactly.
No, he was hot. He was not only hot, he was good-looking, smart.
Yeah.
Had a fascinating history, which I will not share with you. And I really was thinking, I wonder if he's married.
You finally found yourself that nice Jewish boy your parents
Yes, I did.
Took a little while, but...
It took a little while, but there he was. Damn it. There he was. Well, anyway, even that 92-year-old hunk sitting next to me was not enough to get my mind wandering in general, and I became very bored, and I was desirous of going home or just altering my whatever.
Perceptions of the event.
So I said to the nonagenarian to my right, excuse me for a moment. And I got my purse and I walked out onto the floor, into the
lobby.
Yeah, well, we were on a high floor.
Oh.
I don't know where the hell I was. I'd never been there. And there was a footman standing in somebody who looked like a footman from Cinderella, right? I don't know what. Standing there with like little buckled shoes. And I said, excuse me, could you direct me to a ladies' room? And he did. And in I went.
Took the last stall.
I did. It was the last stall.
Anybody else see where this is going?
Well, I said, there was an internal voice always, as you know. Don't do it. It's dangerous. Someone could walk in. But the part of me that always prevails said, fuck it!
And then you?
I lit up a joint. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I got stoned at the Duquesne Club. I did.
Yeah. And the worst part is she did it in the bathroom instead of using the opium den that they have on the third floor.
But you know what?
They all lounge around.
But I didn't tell you this. So after I got stoned and I wandered back out, I was, of course, I thought, all right, now what can I do? So instead of going back, I got on the elevator. And I got off. I can't remember what. I don't know. Maybe at the 3rd floor or the 4th floor. I got off. I wanted to sort of, nose around.
Yeah, right. Sure.
Yeah. Well, it was the oddest thing. I got off on this floor, and it was like a hotel.
Yeah, right.
Do you know that?
Yes, they have lodgings there for.
Yes. So there were lodgings. That's what they would be called.
Lodgings.
Lodgings. Yes. And it was a hotel-y thing with like little gold numbers on. And I wondered, who the hell is in here? Who is in there? Do people live in there, or do they stay? Then I went down to the lobby. Oh, my God. That is, I don't know. I wandered around stoned and laughing, thinking, ha, you let a Jewish woman in, and what does she do? Befoul the bathroom and then wander around unattended with no good intent. And I eventually did make my way up. So that's it, Beth, and I'm sorry. But I thought, geez, maybe people shouldn't know what a maverick I am. I mean, it was dangerous. I'm known, and any one of those women could have walked in. What an idiot. I'm a reckless person.
Yeah.
There's a real reckless streak in me. And somehow, I think it served me well. It has.
It has, I would say.
Yeah, it has, yeah.
But now I have an alternate title for your memoir, An Unattended Jew.
A
Lynn Cullen story.
Jew.
The wandering Jew. Very good. Excellent.
I was wandering around the Duquesne Club. The wandering Jew. I think
we just killed an hour, yeah.
You never took a second break.
Oh my God, you didn't take another second break.
Was there an actual paid commercial in it?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Let's get him in.
Let's do it.
Guys, I'm going to say goodbye now, but no.
But you should listen very closely to this advertisement, and if you ever go to this location, please do not blaze up. Join in the bathroom. Thank you.
No smoking joints in the bathroom. Goodbye.
More is on the way with Lynn Cullen Live.
Sewickley Med Spa is Pittsburgh's newest med spa, offering the latest in skincare treatments and medical-grade skincare products. Their providers have years of experience with aesthetic treatments and technologies such as Botox, Restylance, Juvederm, chemical peels, Retin-A, and spider vein treatments. They offer a discreet, personalized environment with only the best quality proven services and products. Call them today for a free consultation. 412-259-8628. The Sewickley Med Spa. 412-259-8628.
Go to bergbargains.com for great deals on tickets to the ballet, opera, City Theater, Science Center, Symphony, History Museum, and the Carnegie Museums. bergbargains.com, Pittsburgh's only online deal site where the deals don't expire. bergbargains.com.
You're listening to Lynn Cullen Live at pghcitypaper.com. Once again, here's Lynn Cullen.
Well, so that guy isn't a liar when he said, once again, Lynn Cullen. Goodbye!
Lynn Cullen Live, Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and archived at pghcitypaper.com. The opinions expressed on Lynn Cullen Live are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the viewpoints of Pittsburgh City Paper, Steel City Media, and its advertisers.